Hi, Darren Hall here from bet72.com again. Just follow up from the previous video we made regarding value for particular offers and headlines, and obviously plenty of those about at the moment, not least of which Leicester City, who have been enjoying an absolutely fantastic season. It's been a pleasure to watch them. But also what has grabbed the headlines is a number of people who had the foresight to put a little bit of money on them before the start of the season, and 5,000 to 1 to win the Premier League seems to be the arbitrary figure that's been bandied about by a lot of the bookmakers, and certainly what a lot of people have been able to jump on prior to the start of the season. So that's absolutely fantastic, and people putting their money where their mouth is, or certainly just for a bit of interest, then certainly not anything that anyone would have seen coming. But we've obviously got into the realms now of a little bit of a squeaky bum time, or well, perhaps not after the weekend's results, but certainly an opportunity for people to look at cashing out particular bets that are there. And this is a thing which has existed on betting exchanges since their very inception, this idea of backing and laying and being in control of your own particular bets, and you can take portions of your profit and trade between prices and all that side of thing and act like the bookmaker. But to a lot of people, this is a totally sort of new concept, and certainly one which the bookmakers themselves have been latching onto and providing cash out facilities within their own websites and apps. And certainly the TV screens in particular are awash of adverts with in-play betting and the ability to be able to tap boom, if you like, or to cash out in running, or Big Ray telling you that you're safe to bet in play because you can cash out and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, it's certainly a hot subject at the moment. And what's interesting though is just, again, follows a little bit like on from the headline that we saw previously with the 50 to 1 offer at Cheltenham from BetBright. Again, always talk about cash out. You do have to, whilst it's very convenient just to press a single key on your smartphone, or to tap one button on your laptop in order to take your money, sometimes again you could be missing out on the real value that's actually there. And just to really highlight that, this is a very extreme example, but I just wanted to saw a story on the BBC website earlier, the latest Leicester City fan to cash out 72,000. Obviously the 72 caught my eye particularly, but it was basically a story from the weekend. It was a Leicester fan who had £50 on at the start of the season at 5,000 to 1, so obviously stood to win £250,000, and before the weekend fixtures, so that was before Leicester played Watford, he was able to cash out for 72,000. Now I haven't actually got those figures to hand, but what's interesting is the actual spokesperson from Ladbrokes coming on afterwards and saying that had he continued with that bet, then it would have been worth 91,000 to actually cash out. So I just thought it'd be interesting to see what that would sort of mean in real terms over what the bookmaker was actually offering, over what you could potentially get on the betting exchange. So if we went over actually onto Betfair, and we've got the winners market here, then we're looking at the obviously the Premier League market, and we can see there that Leicester, it's been a crazy sort of roller coaster. We haven't got all the breakdown of the analysis there, but you can see where the graph's gone absolutely ballistic, and then just literally flatline there as they've held their own, and we can see a few spikes in there with money coming into the market as well. But what's interesting here is if we look at they're now into a price of 2.26 to lay, which if we then again go across onto our Bet72 calculator and we feed in the details of the guy here, and basically we're just treating this now as a massive arb. So we're putting the 5,001, which is obviously 5,000 to 1 odds, the current lay odds, which are 2.26, and I will, before anyone jumps on me, I will obviously put the caveat in a minute, but if we click through onto that, even with the 5% commission, we can see that potentially the hedging value for that bet is £107,437.55, which what Ladbrokes have offered is 91,000. So effectively they bought that bet back off of the particular customer here for 91,000. On the betting exchange, in betting exchange terms, it actually has a value there of 107, nearly 107,500. So we can see there it's a big distinction. I mean, nearly £16,500 difference in the actual value of a bet between what the bookmaker is offering to cash out with and what the what you can actually get if you could do that on the exchange. The thing here is obviously the situation with the liability, because in order to lay a bet of that size, you need to lay £113,144.80 at 2.26. Your liability for a start is going to be 142,000 plus, and also there's not actually any liquidity in there in order to do that. And if we went further down, we should have loaded some actual betting exchange software up and we could have seen the full depth of the ladder, but here we're looking the front screen there, we're only looking at 8.5, 5.5 and a little bit there, so we wouldn't get that exact price because we'd be hoovering up a lot of the money below it there. But anyway, you can still see that we are massively at an advantage on the betting exchange. So this is a very extreme example because of the numbers that we're dealing with, but what you do, and the important point here is that again, perhaps in the future, before you press that cash out button, or you just tap boom, or whatever you want to do, get over onto the betting exchange, particularly if you're maybe on a last leg of an accumulator, for example, and want to lock some profit in, or you're looking to cover a bet that you put on perhaps earlier in the season, or even earlier in the weekend, and the price has actually come in. Always consider the betting exchange, because you've got the ability there to lock more profit in than probably what the bookmaker is going to offer you with their standard cash out button, because for them you're just hitting the button and you're just getting whatever price they choose to lock you out actually at. Whereas if you go onto betting exchange, you're going to see exactly what the prices are and what you can actually get and lock in before you actually do it. So no more sort of guesswork, no more creaming a few extra quid off the top. You can actually go in and be in total control of your actual bets to cash out. So armed with a betting exchange, and then once again the calculator over at bet72.com, you never have to worry about cashing out again. Okay, I'll speak to you again soon. Cheers, bye bye.